It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
Welcome in to our Coach's Conversation with Eagleville this morning on the Coach's Show. And this segment brought to you by Craig's Tax Service, specializing in personal and business tax preparation, financials, and bookkeeping services. Find out more online at craigstaxservice.com. Floyd, I made it back from Eagleville last night.
Well, hey, man, we appreciate y'all coming out last night. Hope y'all had a good time, and our players enjoyed you guys coming and covering.
You know, I'm just always amazed at the atmosphere whenever we come to Eagleville. I don't care what it is. If you're playing, spades or cards, there's going to be a crowd there.
There's going to be a crowd because, again, our community really has made an investment into the school and into the athletic programs, not only just football, but basketball, baseball, whatever it may be. And our kids are really, really appreciative of the support that they get.
A home game day, it takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
Well, it does. It takes all of us, but it was one of those deals to where there was a lot going on. We had our school-wide fundraiser yesterday also, and that involves a lot of planning and help, not only from our administration but also from the faculty, and we really do appreciate everything that they do.
A lot of schools played on Thursday night, I guess, fearing that a lot of people would be out of town. Their crowd might go on vacation early. That didn't affect your crowd last night.
No, it really didn't. It really didn't, and I was really pleased with our attendance, and Moore County brought some people too. So it just makes single A football just something special when two communities like that can get together for a ball game.
Pretty big rival, Moore County. Everybody's a rival for Eagleville.
It is. But they've been playing other sports for years, whether it's basketball or baseball. It's been an ongoing tradition that Eagleville plays Moore County, and both fan bases are passionate about their programs, and both fan bases enjoy playing one another.
The 24th meeting between you guys, pretty even. You hold the series lead in that 13 games to 10, 14 games to 10 now. But, definitely had some football wars going back to 03.
We have. And I got there in 2010, and we were playing them, and it was some close ball games. It would be like they'd win at their place, we'd win at our place, but it's always been highly competitive, and there's always been good sportsmanship between the two programs.
Well, last night, knew that they were coming in a bit banged up, but
right.
They've been that way, and it seemed like they kind of settled in with Petty at quarterback a little bit, and he's a real athlete, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a tremendous football player. I mean, highly competitive, strong kid. They lost their quarterback early on in the season to an ACL, and he had to step in and play quarterback. He's been their running back. He's been a defensive back, and they put a lot on his shoulders, and I thought that kid handled it extremely well.
Not that they don't have some other great athletes on that team, because they do, but it seemed like there was a focus after halftime to make sure that it was a little harder on him to do some of the things that he did in the first half. I mean, you all really shut him down.
The big thing we wanted to do, we wanted to contain him. We didn't want him to lose contain, let the ball get outside, and if we could just keep him confined, we thought we had an opportunity, to get some stops defensively and get the ball turned over on downs. And I thought our defensive people did a good job of doing those things in the second half.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember. I admit that's what I was going to grab a second ago and forgot to get them. The stats we kept from last night, but not only that, defensively, I mean, your guys were hard to the ball every snap.
We try to fly around to the football. We take pride on trying to get all 11 hats there. It don't ever happen, don't happen sometimes, but we attempt to get kids there running to the football, and our thing is at least make people snap it one more time. Don't give up the home run. Make people try to be patient and drive the ball down the field, because it's kind of difficult if you have to go 80 yards to play perfect for 80 plays if you don't give up a big chunk. And our kids have kind of bought into that philosophy.
Floyd Walker with us this morning as we talk Eagleville football. You take the early lead, they come down a pretty decent drive after that, I think, and attempt a field goal that they missed. And, I wanted to bring focus onto the defensive touchdown that came in the second half, that fumble recovery by Thomas Solomon for the touchdown. Anytime you can score on defense or special teams, it really gives you a boost.
It's a plus. It's a plus. And I mean, I thought Aiden Vestal did a tremendous job of chasing that kid down from behind, causing the fumble, giving Thomas an opportunity to scoop and score. Because if you watch that and you understand who Aiden had to chase down in the Petty kid, you'll tip your cap to the effort that Aiden did on that play, and that won't go, unnoticed when we get back together, after fall break. But again, you tip your hat to the effort that the kid made, that Aiden made, and you tip your cap that Thomas was able to actually pick this fumble up and run it in. He had an opportunity a couple of games ago, and he fell flat on his face. So to see him scoop and score, now we have to pat him on his back.
Well, that Thomas Solomon's going to get the credit for the fumble recovery, but a lot has to happen, and I'm glad you mentioned Mr. Vestal, because we called his name quite a bit last night on tackles and all the other guys, and sometimes those are just like your linemen that don't necessarily get the names out or get the ink. Exactly,
and you don't really get to talk about Aiden enough, but Aiden is a kid that's been an Eagle kid his whole life. He's tough. He runs well, and he enjoys playing for us, and we're thankful that we have.
So I don't forget, I just remembered Thomas Solomon and seeing him with Mom and Dad, thinking about him. I don't want to say anything about Steve.
Good point. Yeah, we ain't going to talk about it.
Yeah, he might cut off the internet somewhere. But, he had senior night last night, and that's always an emotional time. Every one of the mamas kept coming back up in the stand saying, "You made me cry, Mr. Haley." So, but that's a pretty special part of the night.
It's a special deal to watch those kids who've been in your program for, some of them have been there since junior pro days and go through middle school and get to this point. And then, you spend a lot of time as a coach, you interacted with their families on different occasions. So I've always said that it's always tough to have senior night with the players, but it's also tough to have senior night with the parents as well. So because you got to form those relationships and those friendships, and it's always a special night at Eagleville when families like that get together.
Well, I want to talk about a sophomore for a moment, and that's your quarterback. Man, that pass to Marshall Fields was something else.
Yeah, he did a good job on that one. He
got a good read.
He officially came off. He came off one read, regathered, kept his eyes downfield, made a good throw to Marshall. Marshall did a good job of concentrating. I think the ball may have even gotten tipped a little bit, but Marshall did a super job on concentrating on that, and Benton did a good job on finding Marshall. I thought Benton did a good job of handling what we asked him to do last night, and I think he really did a tremendous job, especially in the run game. There's some things from a read standpoint that he had to do and had to check, and I thought he really kept our offense grounded as far as what we were trying to get done in the run game.
Your run game last night, that one touchdown, breaking tackles left and right, and between Solomon and Jordan, your run game was very, very effective. Over 300 yards.
Yeah. I mean, but those kids have done that all year long.
They have.
I mean, it goes back to what you said about people that you don't ever get to talk about, though. There's 5 linemen up front. There's a tight end. There's what we call a money back or a fullback or an H-back in some people's term that do a lot of the dirty work for those guys. And those guys up front take a lot of pride in their assignments. And those kids they've been in the program for a long period of time. They give you great effort. They give you a lot of energy. They play with a lot of passion. It's everything that you want in linemen. And you wish you could give them more notoriety and say the names to every play, because they deserve as much credit for the yards and touchdowns that those running backs get.
Well, I should have brought a roster with me, but your number 7 that you put in the slot, or H-back, there were a couple of blocks that just blew open wide open holes for Jordan and Solomon last night, which I mean, those are important. I mean, you see in the NFL these and in college these running backs who always make sure they think their line, and people blocking for them, because without that, and without that last night, Jonathan wouldn't have had over 230 yards.
Jonathan played well, but number 7 is Caden Maloney.
That's right, Maloney.
I've nicknamed him Cam Scatterboo.
Oh, I did you now?
So everybody, we just call him Scatterboo now. So hey, he's a pleasure to be around. He's what I call, he's a bouncy kid. When I mean bouncy kid, man, he's always happy. He's got one speed, and that's what you really love about it.
We want to highlight Jonathan as our SRM Concrete solid performer. 15 carries, 230 plus yards, a couple of touchdowns, and watching you with Jonathan and Thomas and bringing them in at certain times, and of course those kids all play on defense as well. You really have to. I don't know how you balance all that.
I think Coach Isaac Haley coaches our running backs, and he does a good job of just trusting those guys to let him know when they need a blow, and they kind of will tell him, hey, you got it this time. I'm gonna get me a couple of snaps, and it's worked out well, and I think they really do a good job of complimenting each other.
I mean, you've got to have them on defense. They made some great stops last night. The fumble recovery for a touchdown by Solomon, 7 solid tackles from Jonathan.
And I think Jonathan even caused the fumble last night.
I think he did too.
So I mean, but again, Thomas and Jonathan both have had great years. You couldn't ask for better production from two seniors. So we thankful that we have them on our side, and we look forward to the next couple of games with them.
Well, Floyd, how do you handle fall break? I did get the chance to talk to your lovely bride last night, and she said, "Woohoo! Fall break's already started for her. You had to wait a few hours, but what's the plan for the football team?"
The plan is they're off. They're off the entire break. We went to that format several years ago because it's just one of those deals to where some people get out of town, and what we don't want to do is we don't want to have some people out of town and some people in town, and when we get them back, we want the whole group back together. So we'll take off the entire week. We'll get back on that Monday. I don't know if that's the 10th or whatever it may be, but we'll get back on that Monday, and we'll start getting ready for hunting.
Well, that is the next opponent, and that's a nice little road trip for everybody in Eagleville to head down to Huntland. I can say that's one of the places in Middle Tennessee that I've been. It's almost northern Alabama.
Well, it's Alabama, but it's one of those deals. We went there last year.
Yeah.
So it's a familiar trip for us, and hopefully we'll play well again.
People who don't understand why are you going to Huntland back-to-back years, whenever there's a redoing of all the regions, right, you have to redraw who's home and away, I guess.
What ends up happening now is that TSSAA sets your regions.
Oh, do they? Okay.
And they set who plays at home and who plays away. And it just, unfortunately, it fell that way to where we went to Huntland last year. And in this new cycle, they sent us back to Huntland, no different than Moore County came to us last year and had to come back to us again this year. So it's unfortunate, but it's just the way the TSSAA has set it up, and that's the structure of it.
Well, I'm sure you'll be ready to go. I don't know if you even looked at a Huntland tape yet.
No, I have not. No, I'm not going to watch it today either. I'm going to watch the back of my eyelids today. That's what I'm going to watch.
Understand that. So I'm sure at some point this week you'll probably take a peek. But I mean, your work's going to begin next weekend, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it'll start. I'll probably start looking at them somewhere around Thursday or Friday sometime. And I'm just going to try to take a little break from it and try to regroup myself and push refresh and get ready to go again.
Well, it's going to be a tough 3-game sprint to see about playoffs and all that kind of thing. I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about that after the break. But, Coach, appreciate the, number one, the hospitality last night. We enjoyed coming out, seeing Eagleville, and good luck against Huntland, and we'll see you here in a couple of Saturdays.
Appreciate you, Brian. Thanks for coming out and covering us.
Absolutely. That's Coach Floyd Walker here on the Coach's Show, brought to you by Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a huge selection of mouth-watering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings online at sirpizzatn.com.